1 out of every 3 people you meet on the street know how to whistle. But the practical application of regular poker whistling, apart from letting your immediate vicinity know that you have an above average day, are limited. But finger whistling is different, yet even less people know how to do it. Whistling works, simply speaking, by forcing a lot of air through a small hole. That's going to cause a lot of turbulence and pressure fluctuation. The reason you can only hear one frequency is because of the echo chamber that is, in this case, your mouth. When you change the volume of the air cavity in your mouth by moving your tongue around, you change the resonance frequency of that air cavity. And if you want to take it to the next level, you can use your fingers to change the echo chamber and, more importantly, the airflow to allow for, among other things, louder sound. I've read a few articles. There are some different ways on how you can do it. The most common one, I think, is when you put 2 fingers in your mouth. The basic idea is you put your fingers like this, and then you make your tongue curl up in the back of your mouth, and then you put your fingers in, touching the tongue, and you put your lip like this. And then you just like change your finger shape and maybe your mouth shape until it's a sound that you want. Okay, nothing so far. For the first 10 minutes, I couldn't do anything but wheeze and cough. I gotta say, this is not the most attractive angle for me, but you're gonna have to bear with me. I started to get worried I was doing it wrong, until out of nowhere this happened. That's it. Now that I knew it was possible, I was a lot more excited. I went to a quieter room to not upset my neighbors. Now we're talking. A few key things I learned was: keep the fingers less in the shape of a V and more in the shape of a U. Make sure the fingers meet perfectly horizontally centered in the mouth. Keep your tongue and your fingers quite far forward. Only slightly tuck the lips over the teeth. It's also important to blow air out at the correct speed. Too slow or too fast and you're not gonna hear anything. There's another popular way to do it too, and it's to put your middle and index fingers together like this, and then blow out through a little hole in between your fingers. Yeah, let's try. This looks even worse than the first one. God damn it. This took me only a few minutes until I started to get some sound. I don't push my tongue as far back as I thought I should. I just keep the tip of my tongue up in the roof. When I wasn't touching the roof, it was like a normal whistle. Like that. And that's not what it's supposed to sound like, because it's not as loud. I found the optimal angles between the fingers to be at about 90 degrees. I didn't realize it at first, but both ways of whistling are essentially exactly the same. You're even trying to create the same airflow with your fingers. The only difference is you use different ones. That means when you know how to do it one way, it's easy to learn the other. To get a better sense of how it sounded, I went outside. Yeah, let's see how it goes. In hindsight, I probably could have found a better place to do this, like a soccer field or something. Let's go for a hundo maybe, and let's stand on top of this thing as well. I actually got one last thing I want to try. I have this whistle. I want to see if that's louder. Test! It feels really weird to just stand there and shout things. What up, Marco? Which one do you think is going to be the loudest? I actually think my voice is going to be the loudest. It would be a different story if there was a lot of background noise, if there was a lot of wind, or you were at sea or something. Then a whistle sound could be a lot better, because whistling sounds are one single frequency and it's going to stand out a lot more. So there is still a very good practical application for them, even if they're not louder in this particular test. That's it for this time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.